Hey, what's up, Indy Mogul? It's Adam Bowers, writer, director, and star of New Low. And this is Toby Turner, actor in New Low. It's Ryan Moulton, the director of photography. And this is Jamie Ratzer, the lead actress of New Low.
Thank you for calling the suicide helpline. Whatever it is, it'll all be over soon.
Yeah, isn't that why I'm calling? Well, something's gone horribly wrong for me to get to this point. I could be helping others, doing something to benefit humanity instead of waking up next to a girl with a cold sore.
Yeah, maybe you should get checked.
Look at her. She's too attractive for me, right?
You're pretty skinny.
We'll have a really small apartment, so.
Say I love you.
What?
Say it.
I love you?
But we barely know each other.
Good point.
I don't know if it annoys you to have people ask you, about the budget and stuff like that. Some people aren't upfront about that. Some people are.
Yeah.
Yeah, at Sundance, they would ask what the budget was. We're like,
Oh.
your stock joke.
Yeah. I have a stock joke at festivals when they ask what the budget is. I'm like, whoa, what was the budget of Avatar? It was like a small fraction of that. It was like a chunk of Avatar.
It was a chunk, not a small fraction.
And then the
Yeah.
audiences laugh.
Yeah,
They laughed,
and
and
I
they-
died a little inside.
What did you guys shoot them on?
Well, we shot it on a DVX with a Red Rock lens adapter. So standard definition with a 35 millimeter lens adapter. And that was Toby's, actually, that we borrowed.
My camera.
Yeah.
He was like, can I borrow your camera? I was like, can I be in the movie? He's like, deal.
I was like, all right.
And
Um,
so when
yeah.
you were shooting in DV, were there any issues of getting into festivals as far as like converting it from DV to something else?
Well, Sundance was the first festival, obviously. I was actually like really worried about that, that it was shot on standard because nothing is shot on standard these days. So I was like, oh my God, I've totally like screwed the movie. No, it's actually, I had to upconvert it to HD cam, which is one of the formats that Sundance projects in. So, which I mean, I would have had to do anyway. So it didn't really cost much more than I would have had to end up paying in the long run, I think. And I kind of like it because it like gives the movie like kind of a gritty, grainy quality to it. It looks like it's shot on 16 millimeter.
Yeah.
Which I think kind of lends itself to the story and the world. It's actually kind of better to have it look not super slick and polished. So it kind of worked out for it worked out for ourselves.
So before you submitted to Sundance, did you screen it anywhere else? Or was it just like, all right, going to Sundance, let's give it a shot?
Well, actually, I didn't even. I almost didn't even submit it because like Sundance has that stigma of being like impossible to get into for like real independent films unless it has Ryan Gosling in it or something. And
This movie doesn't have Ryan Gosling?
No.
Oh, all right, I'm out.
No,
Wait.
wait. I drove it into the offices in LA here and dropped it off on the last day, and I didn't think it was going to be in, but yeah, it was in this section called the Next section at Sundance, which was it was the first year of it, and it was a section for like low to no budget movies. I was writing this because I was writing it to shoot it. I was writing it with the people in mind that I wanted to play it, and the locations I wanted to shoot at. Like I would actually write in specific locations in like the scene heading section of the script, and instead of just like generic versions, because I knew that I was like, oh, I want this to be here at this like specific record store or whatever. Nobody got paid. I tried to pay Ryan like $100, and he wouldn't like take it. No, maybe that was Tito.
I'll take it
That
now.
was Tito.
Tito.
Everybody was just like friends of mine or people I'd known, and like all the crew. It was all like people who I was doing like comedy with in Gainesville at the time, or people I was just friends with. And I mean, it's fun to make a movie with your friends. So.
Now, who of you guys went to film school? Did you guys all go to film school together or just to college together?
None of
We went
us.
to UF.
Yeah,
there's
none of
no
us went to film
program.
school.
The closest thing to film they had was an English major about the history of film.
Yeah, and we don't like to read. So.
Yeah, readings.
Me and Toby were in the telecommunications majors, and we both kind of treated it like film degrees, where we could like use it to make short films and things like that.
Yeah, there was one class you had to make a video for, and that's the only reason. I was like, oh, telecommunications, of course, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, actually, I tried to get into the film school at University of Central Florida in Orlando, and I got like rejected one year, and I forgot to apply the next, so I was kind of like screwing myself staying there. So I had to like make this decision, and I went to Gainesville. We would check out equipment and totally make up excuses for the reasons why. That's how we learned how to make movies. Is just like in this like guerrilla style, and we did it that way.
What sort of, how many like short films did you do? I assume this was your first attempt at feature feature, right?
Yeah. This movie is actually based on a 40-minute short that I made when I was in school.
I think we learned a lot from the short. Like
Yeah.
the feature was so much more organized.
Yeah, definitely.
Like you brought more people in to like handle things.
It was definitely not easy all the way through. Like every day was some kind of thing where I was like, oh my God, the movie's like we're not gonna be able to make the movie.
But in Florida, probably easier than out here.
Definitely.
No one really. They were so excited to work on something.
Yeah.
It was easy.
Why I made it in Florida was because I knew that it would be a lot harder to make it out here on my own, which it totally is. Like I was gonna say we shot in a hospital in Gainesville. There was one scene in a hospital, and in LA that'd be like impossible unless you were paying out like gobs of money. In Florida, they were like actually really excited and into it, and they were like, "Oh, keep us posted and stuff," because everybody out here is like really like savvy about that kind of stuff, and they just won't let you get away with anything. Like I remember I was shooting this like video sketch out here a year ago or something, and we were shooting in a park, and this guy, I had to like carefully ask this group of guys who were like playing soccer if they could just move to the other end of the field, and they're like, "Man, you don't even have a permit, man," and that's like something that in Florida people would not even realize you need.
Are there any like practical tips you learned on set while you were shooting? Things that you if you were going to do it again, you'd be like, "Oh, I wish I would have done this differently." Filmmakers.
Plan and prepare and be just super organized and make sure the people you're involved with are reliable. Creating a story that is a world that you can shoot in and that actually benefits from a low budget look, as opposed to trying to, trying to make a Hollywood movie on a not Hollywood budget. I think is a big one.
Well, like all the lighting was pretty much just like one pier, one China ball.
Yeah.
Like, and that's like $10 because that's like all we could really afford.
We borrowed Toby's camera and his boom mic, and then we borrowed the lens adapter from a friend of ours, and everything else was like super cheap. Like we put the China ball lanterns on a broomstick kind of thing and just had somebody hold it. We didn't even have light stands.
Yeah.
We shot instead of a dolly, we would put like Ryan on the back of my Volvo and have somebody push it.
And like the light being plugged into like a car, like
Yeah.
75 feet away.
Yeah, and
Like
my
running like extension cords.
yeah, my car battery died like a million times during the shoot.
I'm curious as to what this first, if you remember the first film you ever made, not that went to a festival or whatever, like when you were a kid,
Yeah.
you had a camera for the first time, do you remember the first thing you shot with that?
I think for me it was like some kind of puppet thing.
I was claymation. I did some
That's pretty
claymation.
advanced.
There were-
like an 8-year-old doing like stop motion.
Yeah, they were just these little monsters made out of Play-Doh, and he would cut the other one's
That's
head
pretty
off,
awesome.
and the head would turn into a little mini other monster. It's pretty cool.
You're a genius.
I know, huge brain.
Baby genius.
I did a like a class project about like the Elian Gonzalez fiasco for my like social studies class in like 7th grade, and there were puppets in it. But then we also like went out on a boat and like
Nice.
shot all this stuff, and I think that was like the first time that I got laughter for anything, and that was like a great feeling.
Yeah.
It was like my class loved it. They showed it to the 6th graders,
Whoa.
and I was like, I was thrilled.
If anybody wants to check out the movie, you can go to newlowmovie.com, or we have a Facebook page at facebook.com/newlowmovie or /, I guess.
Great, thanks for talking to me.
Yeah, thanks,
Thank
Justin.
you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Later.